Hey guys, welcome back to the guy who won't stop reacting to other people's videos. Today we're reacting to a legendary channel, a legendary reviewer, and that is CubaKnow. He is a channel that actually I used to watch a lot back before I became a reviewer myself, and I always found that he's very funny, very knowledgeable, and he puts you onto fragrances you usually wouldn't expect or fragrances you wouldn't know about. So today, I haven't really seen this video in a while, so I thought I'd explore one of his recent uploads called Top 10 Men's Sexy Signature Scents, released 5 months ago, this video. It's always fun to see interesting signature ideas. A versatile fragrance can be very boring if you're using the stuff that everyone else uses, like Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, or even Creed Aventus. So having a signature scent that is versatile but unique to you really does make it more of a signature. No one else has it because you're going to be more unique wearing something like that. And it needs to be a creative scent, in my opinion. It needs to be long lasting while still smelling attractive. That is what makes a sexy signature scent, in my opinion. So enough of me rambling, let's watch the video together for the first time. By the time you guys are watching this video, our next release from Atrium, which is Mr. Momentum, will be available currently for pre-order. The maximum number of days we're doing this pre-order campaign is 5 days for a maximum of 400 bottles. We are trying to revolutionize the blue fragrance industry with this one, so make sure you guys use the link in the description down below or in the pinned comments to not miss out and to get yourself a bottle before the pre-order campaign is over.
Let's go ahead and pick some signature scents for you. Let's make your life a lot less complicated than it needs to be. You watch these videos for recommendations. Maybe our noses align. You're like, yo, Uncle Cuba's got good taste in perfumes and fragrances or colognes, however you choose to call it.
Can I just say that background is hilarious. I don't know if he has like a Barney the dinosaur toy in the background there. I'm not sure what that is, but this is very funny. This is just such a cool background. This is like a New York style. I haven't watched CubaKnow's channel in such a long time, so it's really interesting to see his background, how it is today.
But you're like, I just want something I could wear every day. I don't want 50 different fragrances on my mantle. Well, I got you, bro. I've gone ahead and compiled a list of 10 signature fragrances based on what I feel you would like. Yes, I don't know you, but hey, do you know you? That was a little deep.
Yeah, that is very deep, but if CubaKnow knows who I am somehow and knows my style, I'll be very impressed if he recommends a signature to me today that really resonates with my personality. By the way, guys, if you want to see the original video, we're going to leave a link in the description down below to it, but we're going to skip ahead to the top 10 list now. 37.9% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys really want to see our channel grow, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you.
But if I'm gonna start off with a signature scent recommendation, I'm gonna start off with the signature scent that put the compliment factor into my life. One of the first fragrances that I broke the mold and like, yo, people really give you props, like that many props in one day for a fragrance? Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme did that for me. Now, Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme had a good run maybe 10, 12 years ago. The popularity of this fragrance was TTR through the roof, and everybody loved the sexy gingery essence of this fragrance. Now, it's a very versatile signature scent type scent profile. It's got brightness, it's got depth, it's got citrus, it's got spice, it's got pepper. It's got this soft woven wool cashmere kind of scent profile that's super masculine, very handsome.
Yeah, YSL L'Homme was a classic. As you said, probably 10 years ago, probably the formulation was probably stronger back then. Unfortunately, both L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme have been heavily reformulated since release. But as you said, he pretty much described it perfectly. A very handsome, bright ginger, beautiful balance of freshness and warmth in this fragrance. A really sexy signature scent. I will say though, just be prepared to reapply because it lasts about 4 hours nowadays. Not the best performer, but it is still a masterpiece.
Now, some people are gonna be like, damn, Cuba brought it back. And others are gonna be like, I can't wear that right now. But think about it. When was the last time that you pulled out Terre Hermès? You gonna tell me this doesn't have signature scent written all over it? This got mad dudes buns back in the day. For me, I consider this like the groundbreaking entry door of vetiver in my life. It's spicy, it's pepper, it's dry, it's citric, very versatile. You can wear this out, you can wear this to the office. It can transition between both beautifully. Nothing, and I mean zero offensive quality out of this scent profile.
Yeah, I agree. Terre d'Hermès, the original, is signature material. Apparently it's been heavily reformulated again as well, sadly. Apparently it doesn't last as long as it used to. My bottle lasts 14 hours. Maybe nowadays people are saying it lasts 6 hours. You gotta test it for yourself. But if the Eau de Toilette doesn't work for you, get the Parfum. This is signature material. It is a handsome man's mature signature fragrance, very distinct, and it's just worth experiencing for the artistic merit alone. One of the best signature scents ever made.
This next fragrance I feel is like the Lord of Cleanliness. One of the most beautiful, clean scents that I've experienced in the last, 24 months max that I've had this fragrance? No, probably less, maybe 14 months or so, but MFK's Gentle Fluidity Silver? Oh my God, what a gorgeous gin, bubbly, fizzy scent. That's so clean. Look at it. I'm almost getting instant goose pimpies. Look at those. It's so good. It's like a little bit dry, a little bit boozy, slight herbals, very clean. Ah, look at the goose pimpies.
Okay, we'll let him have that experience as he's going through that. Gentle Fluidity Silver to me is quite a controversial fragrance. I like the idea of it, but I'm not sure if I love the execution of it necessarily. The performance is fantastic. I would say it's the kind of fragrance I personally give like an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. Definitely a standout scent from MFK. If you want a bright, metallic, gin and tonic fragrance that's based around a lot of ambroxan, this is the fragrance for you. Very professional, mature, I would say masculine overall. It lasts 12 hours with a medium projection. It is a great performing freshie. I'm personally not a fan of how synthetic the ambroxan comes across, even though I love the ambroxan in Baccarat Rouge, for example. Even though that's a synthetic scent, I feel like this just does it better. However, I will say some people love Gentle Fluidity Silver. So if you want a great warmer weather signature or an all year round office fragrance, definitely check it out. You should check it out in general. It's one of the better scents from MFK overall.
This one's a little bit basic for my taste. It won't be a signature scent that I personally reach for, but I'm thinking of a list for you and something that you won't offend anybody in the office, because nowadays they're trying to reverse the whole work from home, trying to make you go in a couple of days a week. So when you go in, you want to go in on style. And I know some of y'all, if y'all the fashionable frag-com type individuals, I know you want your fit on point, and regardless, even if there's no baddie in your office, you want to dress to impress. So I know you got that 3-day-a-week fit that you're gonna come in with the fly shoes, with the dope pants, with that sexy sweater or that fly button up, and you need to pull off that scent.
Yeah, in fairness, actually, I always do say the best office fragrances aren't just professional and inoffensive. They should also be charming or attractive in their own way, whilst not trying to be the most sexy thing ever. But you know what I mean probably. You need to have a nice balance of that handsomeness and the office appropriateness. So I think fragrances like YSL's L'Homme or Terre d'Hermès fit that perfectly, for example.
I think Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum could be that scent to help complement the rest of your fit. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Like the dumb reach for office fragrances would be like any Acqua di Gio fragrance, if I'm gonna be completely transparent. This one for me just screams very much signature scent worthy for a classy older individual.
I don't agree with him recommending the Eau de Parfum. I always felt like that flanker was very underwhelming. It had the least character out of all the flankers from what I've experienced. Acqua di Gio Profumo at least went into a dark and edgy, mysterious direction. And then I feel like the Parfum has the most liveliness, the most character. It's metallic, herbaceous. The Eau de Parfum is also herbaceous, but it's kind of flattened out, it's mellowed out. I'm not really a fan of it. I personally recommend getting the Parfum concentration instead. But I do agree, Acqua di Gio in general is a great example of the DNA that works in the office, but is still handsome and attractive.
Now, if you're a hedge fund sexy and you got that kind of floosh, then a little Ganymede will change your life. Some complain that it's a little bit too elderly, a little too old, a little too grandpa-ish, and that's fine. Then you're not of this space, and that's cool too. This for me is a whole vibe. Ultra classy, very masculine. Act as if you are putting it out there in the universe that your bank account is going to increase 10 to 15% on an annual basis, if not more. You are going for wealth. You are establishing yourself as a financial responsible individual who's a walking sex symbol who will salt and pepper his way up into stardom and into a 20-some-odd-year-old when you're like 50.
Okay, so that's Ganymede for you right there. I would describe the fragrance as citrusy, metallic, mineralic, amber-based perfumery. And the musks in here, as CubaKnow said, it kind of makes people think that's a little bit older, it's more mature. I would agree with that. It reminds me of musks that were used in the early 2000s style of perfumery. It kind of feels like a throwback when you apply Ganymede on yourself. I didn't really understand the fragrance when I first had a sample of it. It took me more time. I feel like it's a fragrance that's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful in the air. It makes more sense as a sillage kind of scent. And I think Quentin Bisch did a fantastic job with the fragrance. It's got a lot of hype for good reason, and I personally may have to get a 30 ml, but I agree with CubaKnow. It smells wealthy, luxurious, it's creatively artistic, and it's more mature and masculine for sure, and performs fantastically.
Now you want to be out there with a scent profile that it's recognizable or got a hypey element to it. Well, the next two fragrances absolutely have that and will quell or satisfy that hypey fuckboy energy that gets tons of compliments. We're gonna start off with Mancera, Cedrat, Boise, kind of a no-brainer. In the Aventus-ish space, has been repeated 25 million times, and you can see 8 million videos of this fragrance on YouTube, and most of them are saying the same shit. This shit is fire. This is extremely wearable, ultra sexy, a great bang for your buck. On the gray market, this is hovering in that, what, 120, 150-ish space?
Yeah, I will say, Cedrat Boise is a really attractive, woody, citrus, smoky cologne that has gotten me many compliments, the original especially when it was the old batch, when I had a 5 ml sample that just screamed off my skin, and the next town and everyone's dog and cat could smell the fragrance. This used to be a very strong fragrance. I think they toned down the original a lot. It's more of a okay performing fragrance. It's not weak, but it's not as beastly as it used to be. The Intense is more smooth. I enjoy it more, and it's more beastly. And as Cuba said, you can also get the Intense on the gray market for a really good price. So my recommendation is Cedrat Boise Intense if you want a really reliable, versatile signature that lasts a really long time. And it's an affordable niche fragrance also, so if you want to get into the niche realm, that's a good way to do it.
Montblanc Explorer, a fragrance that I'm personally not crazy about. It's just a little bit redundant and mundane for my personal taste, but I did do a comparison side by side with the actual Creed fragrances and have determined that I was wrong about my initial interpretation. Kind of. It is not a one-to-one Creed Aventus clone, but it is in that bubble, it is that space.
Yeah, I will say Montblanc Explorer is not exactly a clone of Creed Aventus. I would describe it as sort of the more toned down, woody focused, more inoffensive version of Aventus. Less focus on the pineapple, more focus on the citrus, the clean agave wood is in there, giving this very nice, inoffensive, office-friendly version of something like Aventus. Not exactly a clone, but obviously Montblanc Explorer definitely seems like it was inspired by it. Not a bad performer either, really depends on your skin. On myself, I got 6 hours with a soft projection. On my friend, he got over 8 hours with medium projection. So it really depends on yourself as an individual, but it's a great fragrance, a bang for your buck. It really depends if you can get it at a good price. Definitely look for it on discounters only.
Now this is classy, woody, vanillic energy with a beautiful allspice situation, and that's Mizencir's Celebes Woods. It's like instant. You see the goose pimples. Oh my God. Oh my God. I could just live with this under my nose. I got him down my spine right now. I haven't even sprayed it, and just smelling the dribbles off the nozzle. I'm gonna have to wear this today. In the too.
Okay, let's first of all look at the note breakdown before we carry on any further. So very interesting. Actually, this was a fragrance made by Alberto Marias. This is Celebes Woods by Mizensir Perfumes, and the note breakdown looks very interesting. A lot of cinnamon, cardamom, and vanilla. I am very surprised that this is in the signature scent category, but even Fragrantica agrees that you can wear this 3 out of 4 seasons, excluding the summertime, as your day and night signature. That is very interesting. It's always really cool to see vanilla-based fragrances being versatile because you don't see it that often. So I'm interested to hear more about this fragrance after Cuba stops doing his spray routine.
Like the dude who dropped this made this and everything else along with it in that Acqua di Gio line. So your man knows freshness, but his wood depth in this fragrance, that spice element, that cinnamon vibe, that vanillic extract. Bro, I love you. Thank you for stimulating me like my wife hasn't this week.
Okay, we'll stop there again, but this sounds very interesting. A spicy, vanillic, cinnamon-heavy fragrance And it has cardamom in there as well. Cardamom is a very sexy note in fragrances in general. I am very happy that I watched this video because I'm now very intrigued to try this out. So thank you, Cuba, and I'll leave you alone with that bottle for now.
Back in the day, this was my signature scent. This is a signature scent that nobody speaks about nowadays because they're not checking for it. There's so many other hypey designer fragrances that this is all the way in the back burner. But once you smell this balance of all these beautiful notes like coconut, cinnamon, ginger, peach, oud, ambers, and musks, all this concoction of sexy vibes in one designer fragrance, you'll start to understand that, damn, this shit hits super different. And that's Chanel Allure Homme.
The original Chanel Allure Homme, I agree with Cuba, it's too overlooked nowadays. It is still a fantastic fragrance, although I personally gave my bottle away of this. I think this is a fantastic blend. My issue was with the performance. Let's see what else Cuba says about it.
It works. You're not gonna offend anybody. And on the contrary, I think you're gonna be smelling completely different from anybody else that's around you, period. Forget work situation. Anybody around you, period, is not gonna be rocking this fragrance 1,000,000%. And it has so many layers. There is zero linear quality about this scent. You have no straight line across. This is straight versatility. It's going like this throughout. It's a heartbeat. It's a full monitor EKG status on your chesticles. Absolutely signature scent worthy.
I do think this can be your signature scent, but I will say the original Chanel's Allure Homme, I would put it more as a warm weather fragrance, more suited for the spring and summertime. But hey, it's an inoffensive, cool, unique, and creatively made fragrance. I think it was probably stronger back in the days when it came out in the 90s. And it's probably been reformulated since then. However, as Cuba says, yes, it is very multifaceted. I personally got main notes of peach, woods, vanilla in here, some really sexy muskiness that gave this Chanel allure, no pun intended, and elegance that Chanel is known for. My issue was with the performance. It lasted about 4 hours, and maybe 6 hours at most if you oversprayed. I think it was a nice scent. It's not hyper masculine. I think even women could probably get away with it, but it still leans masculine overall. To me, I was not reaching for it, but it's definitely still a solid scent. Maybe nowadays I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 maybe, so it's still a solid fragrance. What do you guys think of the original Chanel Allure Homme? Have you tried it? Do you think it's underrated and overlooked nowadays, or do you disagree with that?
You know, I've learned a very important lesson throughout these years is that no matter what any content creator, any reviews, anything along the line, some people just like labels, like brands, and they like what they like, and they can be easily manipulated by celebrities or big artists wearing particular fragrances, especially if they're a good fragrance. And a lot of people love Bond No. 9 fragrances. So I say, a little Bleecker Street never hurt nobody. Good old Bleecker Street. For me, it's kind of like that black currant kind of blueberry-ish kind of energy that comes off of this fragrance. It's got citrus, it's got dryness, it's got fruity vibes. But after the opening of that fruity punch, like that uppercut that you're gonna get in your jaw of this black currant blueberry kind of energy, it starts to convert into this musky, dry, almost candied caramel kind of smell. It does open a little sharp and scratchy to my nose, but it mellows out to be something slightly fruity with a little bit of a creaminess to it.
Good old Bond No. 9 Bleecker Street. I actually used to own a bottle of this because it did get a lot of hype. I think it's one of the more hyped fragrances in the brand, and I personally hated it. Maybe it's not a terrible fragrance, but I give it maybe a 7 out of 10. To me, this feels like a green Irish Tweed-esque fragrance. I'm not saying it's a clone at all. I think Bond No. 9 actually does have a clone of green Irish Tweed, but this is green, heavy, thick, musky, but it seemed like a bit of a synthetic mess to my nose with that blueberry and caramel note. They kind of just mixed and clashed with that greenness in a weird way, making this really strange smelling fragrance. It's creative, it's cool, it's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure the execution was quite there. It's probably quite versatile. It had good performance from what I remember as well, but to me, a good old reliable from Bond No. 9 that I would choose any day over Bleecker Street is Lafayette Street by Bond No. 9. This to me is the reliable, more attractive, signature-worthy scent from the brand. My personal recommendation. I wasn't feeling Bleecker Street. Maybe it works better on Cuba's skin. Have you guys tried Bleecker Street? Have you tried Lafayette Street? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.
So these are 10 signature scent fragrances that I feel you would truly enjoy. Please test before blind buying. Unless you got the bag and our noses aligned, then blow it.
Okay, and we'll finish it up there. So as you can tell, guys, Cuba is hilarious. As I said before, the original video is going to be linked down below, so go ahead and watch it and consider giving Cuba a subscribe as well if his review style is up your alley. So go ahead, guys, go check him out, go show some love. What are your thoughts on today's 10 fragrances that have been displayed today? Do you agree or disagree with them being sexy, signature scent worthy fragrances? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. And also share your #1 sexy signature scent that isn't a generic, boring fragrance that everyone knows about, something interesting and unique. I know you're kind of sharing your little well-hidden kept secret, but go ahead, guys. We're not in your close circle, so no one's gonna start spamming your favorite fragrance. So let us know your favorite signature scents down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous reaction video to Jen's scents up here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.